but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not. So I fell asleep with a broken heart.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello, everybody.
I'm sitting here. Hey, there is Donald Dean back there doing on the Wheels of Steel. We'd like to appreciate all of your efforts that you put in. I don't think we say it enough. This is the recovery room. I am T-Bone, and this cat over here is
Minister Sean Prenderville.
Sean. Yeah, that's his hip hop name as well. When you came on, we were both so into
Well,
our phones, which is how life is. Right?
Well, I still can't get us live on my phone.
Yeah. Okay. It probably takes a minute. But at any rate, and I was on my phone because I was responding to someone who reached out to me and said, I watch your program, and there's somebody that knows me for a long time, and they said, and I really, I want to send some people, but I don't know if you guys are being honest, and just about your drinking problem. And it's like, okay, well, first of all, we're here about opioids, and yes, I did have a drinking problem to the extent that it almost ruined my pancreas and so forth, but it wasn't nearly as bad as my opioid addiction, and I don't mean to certainly belittle at all mine or anybody else's alcohol addiction. Addiction's addiction. That's what we talk about, right? It doesn't matter whether it is to food or to alcohol or to sex or to drugs or whatever. All of them are addictions, and all of them stem from kind of like the same place, which is some sort of pain or trauma, and all of them require the same decision to stop, and I'm never, like I said, I'm not here to try to be some sort of authority on any of this, because the only authority I have on are my own experiences, and every day that we come on here, our hope is that we can reach out to at least one person, and Des, again, I'm appreciating your reaching out, and even the fact that you were talking about watching, because each and every person that watches this particular program, I feel a special connection to, because in this life we go through ups and downs and crazy turnarounds. We got births of babies. We got all kinds of stuff, jobs, and each and everything that we do, it lands us somewhere. And so when somebody lands here on this Facebook page, and thank you, Facebook, but when somebody lands here on this Facebook page and sees this, and then everything we've done has gotten us to meet here, and that's some special time, and I don't want to ever waste it. I don't want anybody to feel any other way than, hey, that you can go there, and the people are just they're giving their experience, they're giving their hope, and they're giving their strength. And so, at any rate, a lot of stuff going on in the world, and sheesh, and the corona obviously is at the forefront of it, because it's just such a interesting time in that we are experiencing two national medical emergencies all at one time, and if there's ever a time that on our money, right, there's this thing, and Donna, I forgot to tell you to post it, the subject matter for today is that I saw it on $1 or something today, e pluribus unum. E pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. And that is what is happening more so than any other time in the history of our world, certainly of our country, where this whole thing is touched everybody, and it's equalized the field such that out of all the many, right now we are one people trying to figure out how to get our lives back to some semblance of normalcy.
Well, and we took all the freedom that we had for granted.
Yeah.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
And freedom's a lot like respect. It's fought for, it's earned, etc.
Yeah.
I talked with a friend of mine actually a bit after the show yesterday, and she's over in the Philippines, and they quarantined everybody like in this big, huge, like warehouse, all the empty warehouses, but they put everyone that was homeless in there, everyone who was trying to, recovering addicts, to people who they stopped her visa, so she's in there like afraid about getting sick, and can't be, and she's like locked down, and she's like, what do I do? And I'm like, I have no idea,
Yeah. Well, again, what the answer to that is first of all, Pastor Buck and anybody else will say, all the reverends will say is pray.
Pray.
Pray on it, because see, the answer is always there, and we as human beings have the capacity, if we would just listen to that still small voice in our head, we have the capacity to come up with solutions to we like to call it simple solutions to simple problems, because they all really are. What we tend to do more often than not is blow things way out of proportion, such that that my grandmother used to say, turn a mountain into a molehill, or is that what they call it?
Something like that.
Something like a molehill into a mountain, whatever. You're taking something so small and making it so big, and that's what fear is, like false evidence appearing real. And it's not. I mean, we spend so much time agonizing over something that we perceive is going to happen.
Well, in a way, it's a lot like when you go to the dentist. You know that you're in pain.
Right.
You can't see it.
Right.
You feel it. If you say you get a cut on your hand, you can look at it, you can see it, you can understand why it hurts. When it's an internal pain, like the internal pain that you're going through, that makes you want to go use or whatever else, and you can't. It's right in front of your freaking face, and you can't even see it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing about this coronavirus that we're going through. It. I mean, one of the saddest sayings, one of the more truthful sayings, is that an addict alone is in bad company. And so Corona has forced us into this whole isolation thing, and that is the worst thing that can happen to an addict, because one way or another we're going to get high if we are still actively using, and if we're by ourselves, that's when people tend to OD the most, and so now we're being in these situations where people are forced to be alone, and again, if you're actively in the struggle, and the struggle is real, and I know and appreciate it, the only knowledge I have does not come from any books. It comes from my personal experience with the pain of releasing myself from the prison of addiction. And I got to tell you, all I can tell you is that I don't know how to tell you to do it. All I can do is tell you is that you've got to take that first step, and that first step is making a decision. And that's just, other than that, what happens after that is going to be your own personal story. You may be one of those people who can just lock yourself in the room and just say, I'm not coming out until this sickness and this addiction is off of me. But you may be one of those people that has to go to rehab once or twice or 20 times or whatever it is. I don't know what your particular story is going to be, what your particular path is going to be. Where Sean just passed me a yard,
Yep. Those are contagious. He's got the corona yawn.
The Corona yawn. Ugh, that was a good one too. Made my eyes water. So yeah, I mean, one thing I learned from Corona is that sleep is good, man, and I can get it now. I mean, I used to be running, ripping, and running all the time, and now I'm getting some sleep, and it feels good. But at any rate, you're gonna go through whatever you're gonna go through, and it's gonna be worth it. I guarantee you it's going to be worth it. And I don't mean to make it sound simplistic, because it is not. It is hard, man. It's hard. It's one of the hardest things you're going to do. But I guarantee you that the power that you get from it, the strength that you get from it is going to be more than you can even imagine. Because when you can say that you overcame addiction, especially from opioids, but I would go all the way down to cigarettes. I mean, I used to smoke, and again, I'm sorry I don't talk about smoking enough, but Dez and all you guys out there, remember I used to smoke. I don't smoke anymore, and I had to make a decision to do that too, though, because it's probably one of the most difficult addictions out there. That nicotine is, I mean, and it's the one accepted drug too. I mean, if you go into the program and nicotine and caffeine are rampant. They're really rapid, but that's okay. I mean, if that's what people got to do to get through their addiction, and that's fine, because I agree. I think about the same thing about now. I have been experienced when they first started talking about the MAT program, which is a medically assisted treatment, which is where they replace your opioids with another type of opioids that don't have the same addictive qualities to them. I didn't think that was a good idea at first until I saw it work. I'm like, hell, if it works, use it, do it. I'm not here to tell you, oh, well, that's not the good way to go. I mean, like somebody said, well, what about smoking pot? Well, I mean, obviously in the program, if you're smoking weed, then you are not clean and sober. I mean, you got, again, all these conditions and people. I'm pro program. Don't get me wrong. Everybody in the program, please don't stay there. But I am saying, to be honest with you, if smoking pot is going to be the thing that can get you keep you from shooting drugs and dying, smoke some weed, man. I don't have the rules there. It's just this is like Corona, right? Stay home, go to work.
No one leave your house, but
yeah, go to work.
You still need groceries, so you still got to go out.
And the economy is dying a slow death. Go to work. No, stay home. I still see that it was comical when I saw it originally, and it's still comical. Alone together.
Yeah.
I mean, they will push anything down our throat that they want to, and if you accept it, then that's on you.
In these troubled times.
I was say, speaking of jamming things down people's throat, so
wait, that's not this show.
No, a friend of mine who worked as a dancer at 2 different clubs here in town, they decide they're not going to open back up again. So then you have not only the bartenders, you get the DJs.
Yeah.
You got the security, the people helping with parking.
Yeah.
So and that's just one place, but a couple of those places here in town are closing. They're not going to renew the pier on Anna Marie Island. The guy,
which is like one of those landmarks.
Well, was it whenever we get hit with those couple hurricanes?
Yeah.
The whole pier got wiped out, so they went ahead and rebuilt the whole thing with a nice restaurant at the end. And nope, they said, we're done. Sorry. That was on the news today. Be thankful for what you guys got out there.
Yeah. Even during this tough time.
You're not going, I can't do this, I can't do that. Well, you're alive.
Hello.
You're
gonna die from something anyway. Guaranteed.
Some of us have lost weight during this coronavirus.
And some of us gained weight.
Gain weight.
I went on a mission to gain weight, so I mission accomplished.
So that was on purpose, the hand rest.
Yeah.
Well, it was a cup holder.
Cup holder.
But it's not Dunlaps though, so it's good. You know what Dunlap, right? That it done lapped over your belt. It's still, I mean, I'm okay. I did just enough. Now I go back to the gym when they open back up the gyms, which I don't know, have they opened the gyms yet?
Not to the best of my knowledge, they have not.
Yeah.
But supposedly they're gonna have all the beaches in Manatee County. They're gonna move all the barriers and have them open tomorrow.
So I don't
Is what I
understand.
see.
You can open a barber shop, but I can't get my driver's license. Not that I need it. I'm just saying. I mean, who's making these decisions? On what to open and when. I should say let it open and be a free for all, and then let the cards fall where they may, because that's what's going to be anyway. It's going to be some kind of anarchy anyway if they continue going on like this. I mean, there's a couple of places they're not talking about opening back in New York. It's like sometime in June, and in the theaters, which is one of the biggest parts of New York, is sometime in September.
Ridiculous.
I mean,
Well, any different style theater, like the AMC theaters, they're filing for Chapter 11.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, whole bunch of companies are. J. Crew, I just saw filing.
Yeah.
I mean, and so this is a total reboot. This is the reboot of all freaking time. Reboot, and reboot till that thing starts, that little buffering things. Just let it stop spinning. Because when it stops spinning, you're going to be in your rightful place. You're going to be defragged.
Speaking of being in your rightful mind, I saw the article the other day. This lady, I don't know what study he was high on, but she decided to go pet this alligator.
Woo.
Pet an alligator.
Yeah,
she was on
they look
something.
all nice and cuddly, right?
No, they don't.
Yeah, no.
It looked like your purse.
Well, that was her first and last decision.
See? And decisions. That's the key word in all of this stuff that we talk about. Decision. You got to make a decision to make a decision, because no decision is a decision. And if you don't make a decision, you're going to be behind, and you're going to be out there the next day trying to get high and running up and down and ripping and running up and down the street and chasing and doing things that you wouldn't do. We always talk about it. It's like, okay, so in the third grade, when Miss Crabtree asked you what you want to be when you grew up,
I want to be a drug addict.
Yeah.
I want to be in prison.
prostitute. I want to sell myself for a drug. And that's what a lot of our young ladies are out there doing. This divine temple that we've been given is just being used and abused, and then today you add Corona to it. I don't know. You got to be really, really desperate to go out there and pick up somebody that has somebody's sexual disease, and then could possibly have Corona on top of that. Jiminy crickets, STD, coronavirus. It is crazy. It's crazy, man.
Right.
So anyway, neither a judge nor jury on that one either. I mean, do what you got to do, man.
Well, there was I think it was Texas or something like, maybe it's Nevada. There's a drive-through strip club.
Oh God, we do go by, get a little shot and drive on.
I saw it, and I'm like, wait a second, what?
That's pretty funny. Listen, I think the phone number has been forwarded, so try it. And if not, it'll be forwarded. The number is 941-201-5226. That's 941-201-5226. That's a really nice shirt that Sean has on when you do
It's
that.
all,
It's like,
It's all
oh.
glistening.
but it almost
man.
looks like the hand of God coming down behind you.
Oh my God! I
It's either
need
gonna
that.
smack
thank
you-
you. Yes, thank you, Lord.
Or-
Yeah, smack me, Lord.
Yeah.
Smack me. I'd be love to be smacked by the Lord right now.
That's right.
The hand of the Lord. And having said that, you realize that you are that, right? You realize that you are the hand of the Lord. You realize that God works through people. You realize that people, like somebody's grandmama, is praying for them, and they're way on the other side of the country. But that prayer it's important, because prayers are answered, and perhaps you are the answer to that prayer. don't miss that opportunity by being caught up in some mindset of despair or indifference or whatever. When that time comes for you to be that blessing, be it, do it.
I'm glad you brought that up. There was this posting yesterday, and the girl, both of her kids have the coronavirus, and another one doesn't have the virus but is dying of cancer. So I'm like, my thoughts and prayers go out to you. And then she said, okay, Minister Sean, where are you sending me the prayers from? Are you Catholic, Christian, this? I said, I'm sending you prayer. She goes, well, I can't accept your prayers because they're not from my God.
Well,
But yours isn't good enough.
well,
So
you know.
I put in caps because that's what you're supposed to yell when you're texting. I was like, what?
Huh? Yeah.
I don't care what religion you are. A prayer is a prayer is a prayer.
Yeah.
So like if we're over here and the Pope is asking everybody to come there for a big huge mass to pray. Well, that was weird. Done the whole thing shook when I did
Ooh, that was fun.
It was like, woo! And I said,
Yeah, he was hot. He was on fire.
But are we saying that prayer is less than this prayer? No.
Yeah. Well, people got it all screwed up because when somebody says "have a safe trip," that's a prayer.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, if somebody says "hope you get well soon," that's a prayer. Get some rest, that's a prayer. I mean, anything that somebody wishes on you that's good, it's a
break
prayer.
a leg.
Break a leg. It's a prayer. I mean, that's what you could be have a good show. And so I mean, and that's and again, here's Corona. Corona has forced us to question everything that we've ever thought about.
Yep.
Oh, there he goes. Wow. Ooh.
Sorry.
Everything that we've ever thought about, including God and what our perspective on God. But you see, here's the deal that I find about God. The biggest atheist, when something happens and that like you get in a car accident, the first thing that anybody says is, "Oh God."
Yep.
So there's some perspective of God, and even the atheist. But a prayer is a prayer is a prayer. Doesn't matter.
And for those rednecks out there, it's hold my beer, watch this.
Hey.
Oh God.
Yeah. I am going to leave that one alone.
What?
Because
Oh, you're talking about what a black man can't talk about rednecks?
no, I talk about them all the time because my best friends are rednecks, but that's okay. You might be a redneck if I know. If you're out there slaughtering pigs, which was a fun deal. But anyway, if nobody's told you that they love you today, let us be the first. We love you with with the universal, let's say, type of love, not some squeaky kind of mushy kind of stuff.
No, we love you. You send a check right now, and we will pray for you.
Yeah. And it's a good point, Sean, because again, I had a friend that sent me this text, and I really am grateful for it. And I appreciate it. And that's just the thing. We don't do this for any money, and I'm not trying to sit here and say that I'm perfect, because we not.
Yeah, if you try to say, let me move away,
Yeah.
so God don't say smash.
But what I am here is I'm here. And I'm going and plan to be here until I can't be here anymore. Because I know that each and every time that we do that, there's somebody out there that's surfing the web or whatever, surfing Facebook, and they run across these two heads, or when Christy's back, these three heads, and I think that we're going to be getting Dora, the adorable Dora up in Ohio, coming in streaming. And when anybody sees these heads and they stop and want to wonder what the heck those heads are talking about, maybe they'll catch just a little glimpse of something in our eyes or in our emotion or in the words that we say that convince them that, yes, now's the time. You know, now's the time. Tomorrow is not promised to any of us. Okay, all we have is today. All we have is right now. And so, if you make that decision right now, 3 days from now, you will be so happy that you did, or a month, however long it takes you to get over the sickness, because the sickness is the toughest part. Here altogether,
No, it was still on.
It was still on.
But just the sound.
Just the sound. Okay, well, you guys, this is what you call resilience, right? This is what you call stick-to-itiveness, right?
Yeah.
A lot of other people would have fallen by the wayside by now and quit and said, "This is just too difficult."
Fire the producer.
Fire the producer.
Maybe
And
it's
then
the man trying to bring us
I'm
down.
a black man. Yeah, no.
Forgot to plug in the power supply from my computer.
Oh no.
The battery almost went dead.
Oh no. Well,
It's back on.
it's
now.
back on.
Okay.
So anyway, here's what I need that person, especially if you can hear me. My setback, which I'd like to call our addiction.
They can hear us.
What?
They can hear us, yes.
Can? Oh.
Yes.
Oh, they can hear us. Hear me now. My setback was a blessing. I survived what was meant to destroy me. I came back like a boss, fabulous, wiser, and stronger than ever. And that's what happens to the 9%ers, people. That's what happens to the 9%ers. See, this thing was designed to kill you. It was designed to take everything and everything of any value from you. All your relationships, all your finances, all that stuff. It is designed to take away from you. But when you resist that devil, when you decide that today is the day that you're going to take and take charge of your life again and bypass, don't go that way where the dope man is and get out of those situations that are the triggers for you. When you decide that you're going to do that and you stick to it, that your life becomes such a better place, a brighter place. You come back like a boss. I mean, you, and we talk about it all the time. I mean, these before and after pictures, it's like, man, woo, girl, wow, you sure look. You ain't the same chick that walked in here 3 months ago. Oh, you are? Okay. Well, that's the miracle of it. That's the amazing part of it. You can go from looking like you're standing at death's door to being back, to the one that everybody wants to be with at the party, or at the meeting, or wherever it is you are. I mean, I've seen people with amazing turnarounds, and that's physical and that's spiritual. I mean, I know some people who have become some of the greatest ministers, preachers, pastors, reverends, servants of God as a result of them. I know some people who have become like physical specimens, like, because addicts, we're addicted to everything. So you get addicted to going to the gym, and you get addicted to working out, and you gotta have it. But that's on the other side. When you get to feeling good and looking good, and things start to tasting good, and all the things good, man, it's worth everything. And so I'm just going to read that one again. I got to, and as soon as I can figure it out, Don, is it just that I just send you these quotes and on via email, or
And then you
I
can
bring
post them
in,
up? Is that what the idea is,
or
what you want to do?
Yeah, or I bring them in
On a USB.
on a USB drive. Okay, I'm going to do that tonight because I need people to see this, because you can hear me, and that's one thing. But what we have is this reticular activating system. When you can see something and it is stored in that area, it is more effective. And so I'm going to make that happen. But I'll read it again anyway.
All right.
My setback was a blessing. I survived what was meant to destroy me. I came back like a boss, fabulous, wiser, and stronger than ever. And that's the truth. Because if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger, wiser. More often than not, I mean, some people just makes them dumber. And in fact, I didn't get my favorite drink today from the Sedell people, and I threw the bottle
not?
away. I didn't have the change on me. Oh, but it takes cards anyway. But anyway, we have some cool sponsors, and I think maybe we should go ahead and shout them out, give them some recognition. One of them is right here in this beautiful
Hammock Haven
place.
Experience. To find out more, go to thehammockhaven.com or call 941-201-5226. The Hammock Haven. Chillax a minute.
421 Sweet Treats is Anna Maria Island's sweetest little five-star cafe, located at 5337 Gulf Drive on beautiful Holmes Beach. For reservations, please call 941-281-2335. Life is sweet and full of treats.
POWarriors.com, the website that's dedicated to connecting our armed forces and first responders to businesses that appreciate their valor. For more information, go to POWarriors.com or call 336-501-0017. PO Warriors, protecting our warriors that protect us.
Pigs were out there.
Yeah, really cool spot there on Nico's Farmers Market, and a shout out to Dawn and Brady from 421 PO Warriors. It's such a timely company, and then this Hammock Haven thing, which we don't talk a lot about, but it's going to be one of those things where, you know, when we're able to get back and people are not afeared of each other, it'll be a relaxing kind of get together where it'll be music and hammocks and lights and smokes and aromas. It's going to be really cool. In fact, we're planning a party right now, probably for June 7th or the 14th, depending on when they really give us the release to get together. So you'll hear more about that. But the Onico Farmers Market, man, what a really great place. It's just like everything else now, it's kind of waiting on COVID-19 restrictions to be lifted, but it's going to be a really fabulous place with vendors of all sorts.
But you're still doing the drive-in movies.
Yeah, and I'm just going to get to that. And then we don't talk about that enough either. On Wednesday and Saturday, right here, we're right outside of the Onico Farmers Market, there is a drive-in movie Wednesday and Saturday, I think at 8 o'clock. Drive-in movie.
Now,
Amazing.
if I'm JQ Public out there, how do I know what movie you guys are going to show?
You can go to the Onico Farmers Market on Facebook, and they posted there. Once we're right now getting all of this stuff together because we've been given the blessing of being responsible for publicizing the place, the social media, so forth and so on, doing the concerts that we'll be doing outside, the kids with the bounce houses and so forth and so on. It's a very, very, very cool place. So the Onico Farmers Market, keep your ears and eyes open. And Wednesday night, when is that? Tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Come to the drive-thru. Check on the Facebook page, and you'll see what's playing. But drive-thrus are making a big comeback during Corona because you can stay in your car, and what you do, you stay in your car and you tune your radio in your car to a frequency that is they'll give you 89.5. And then you sit in your car and you separate it from people, and you watch a movie, and you can bring your own popcorn and stuff, or you can get some you get some here. It'll be happening also when this place is in full operation, so there'll probably be some people here that I don't know, you can get food, beer, wine, whatever it is that you're looking to have when you come. So that's the Onico Farmers Market. If you have not joined the Recovery Room family yet on Facebook, please do. Just go to Facebook, type in that's in the search part, the Recovery Room, and the little dude in the bed or chick in the bed, whichever it is, will come up. And I don't know, I think there's a button to join. Some people can join automatically. I'm not one of those people. I don't know how all that settings work, but you hit the button, somebody will answer or whatever, and post and read some of the stuff, obviously. And if there's something that moves you and you feel compelled to respond to the individuals, people have become really good support systems systems, have found really good support systems right here on the Recovery Room Facebook page. You reach out and you say, God bless you, and we're here for you, whatever. Then you guys start that dialogue, and the next thing you know, you got yourself, a new Facebook friend, and if they're in town, then somebody that you can meet up with for some strength and some hope and some fellowship. One of the biggest parts of the program. Speaking of programs, the only good gram is the program. That's what I heard. So we got in all the plugs. That's good. To be able to sit here and have a plug is a wonderful thing. To have something to plug. Because this we've been doing this for a while, and I'm so happy because Corona couldn't even stop it. And matter of fact, Corona has made it a little bit more palatable. It made us a little bit more visible. More people have been home and have tuned in since the Corona than ever before. And so, this is something that we do out of a commitment to just want to see the people that we love and those people that we don't know that if we knew them, we'd probably love them. That are stuck in some sort of addiction. And again, the Recovery Room was started based on talking about the opioid addiction. But as we've gone along, yes, it includes alcohol. It includes gambling. It includes food, sex, shopping, internet. Whatever it is that you are overdoing. God said you can do just about anything in moderation, but when you start overdoing it, when it becomes your life, then you got to take a second look at that thing and figure out something else to do.
I just had somebody send me a thing saying they couldn't hear us, but now they can.
Okay.
So I guess it's intermittent because they, not for a minute, but now it's back again.
Yeah. Okay, and here's something, because all of these things are usually family diseases. Some of them are hereditary in the DNA and all that. But this little thing says, and it's passed on to generations. This little thing says, be the person who breaks the cycle. Okay? If you were judged, choose understanding. If you were rejected, choose acceptance. If you were shamed, choose compassion. Be the person you needed when you were hurting, not the person who hurt you. Vow to be better than what broke you, to heal instead of becoming bitter, so that you can act from your heart, not your pain. They say that hurt people hurt people.
So if you guys were growing up and it was your mother, your dad, your uncle who used to just get drunk or whatever and beat you or touch you, whatever
Molest
else.
you, yeah.
Unfortunately, you're raised that way, and then almost always you become that person that you hated growing up.
Right.
And then your child or whoever.
Right. It's a vicious cycle.
You just get to break that chain.
Yeah. Be the one that breaks the chain. Be the one that breaks the cycle. Be the one that takes your intellect and uses it as a tool for moving forward, not as something that hinders you, because your smartness can hinder you too, because you can think yourself into depression, you can think yourself into anxiety, you can think yourself into all kinds of things that kind of get you off center, that try to get your radio off frequency. We talk about it all the time. It's like, we can accept the fact that, a radio wave floats through the air and you can just tune your dial in your car and wherever, and you can get this signal and play music and do whatever. Well, I believe that this 6 inches between our ears, well, mine might be about 7, but between our ears is the biggest, most broadest broadband receiver transmitter on the planet. I believe. How often do you call somebody or you see somebody, you say, "Wow, I was just thinking about you." A lot, right? Because that wave is going out. There's communication that's happening. And communication is what's necessary. The first time you hear yourself say, "Hi, I'm Terry, I'm an addict," and mean it, it's a profound thing because you hear yourself saying it. You know.
Right before the show, I stopped by the Dollar General. It's in this plaza here to get something, and I pulled in the handicap parking space. I'm getting out, and a couple cars down, somebody was talking to somebody. I'm like, "I love you." I was like, "I love you too." And everyone just stopped looking at me like, "Who's the crazy guy in the truck?"
It's talking about love.
You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's an interesting thing about love. The more love you give, the more love you get. It's the greatest medium of exchange on the planet. The more love you give, the more love you get. Try that with your bank account. See what happens to it. You know. So give love, man. This is love. Can't even say it enough. Can't think it hard enough. Can't give enough of it. The world needs it, and it needs it desperately. It needs it today. It needs it from you. And a smile. Man, you know the importance of a smile. The smile is one of the most important things, especially in eternity. Do you realize that you cannot be unhappy and smile at the same time? It is impossible. Try it.
Don't wear a mask.
Yeah, don't wear a mask because nobody can see you smiling. Yeah. Yeah, and don't get me on this who wears the mask and who don't thing, because I'm kind of
Trying to fit in.
pissed off about that. Anyway, but you know, if you chemically and musculoskeletally and all that kind of stuff, it's impossible to feel bad when you smile. So smile, but smiles can make somebody else happy. You notice how smiles are contagious. You notice that if you look at somebody, you smile at them, the natural knee-jerk reaction is for them to smile back. So let's do a whole bunch of that. You know, a smile is just a frown turned upside down. You know that a smile increases your face value.
I do now.
I used to smile a lot more when I had all my teeth.
Oh, I haven't heard this one in God, it's had to be 2 months now.
I know, I was going to let it go, but then you kept smile.
I messed around and left the bucket up, and dude messed around and ran into it and knocked his tooth out. Okay. Now, how he did that, I don't know. Why I didn't let the bucket down is because I just did.
Well, and the funny part after all that happened was me and Chrissy went to the dentist, and I'm like, look, here's the tooth, or for them to put it back in, and they're like, what happened? I'm like, well, her boyfriend knocked my tooth out, and the dentist was like, you guys are still friends? Like, oh yeah. This stuff happens all the time.
Yeah. Well. The rule of thumb is if you're using a front end loader, put the bucket down. Okay, I learned it the hard way. But guess what? Levi found his tooth though
Please.
in the mud.
Yeah. It's in a jar at the house.
Anyway, keep smiling, guys. Keep smiling. Smile. It is one of those amazing things. And you know, teeth. If you have teeth or not, you know, people still smile back at you. The world is in need of some people that remind other people that there is still love and kindness in the world. That there's some, you know, when there's some souls that collide out there, and it doesn't turn into like a catastrophe. It turns into like a union, and things get done. You know, that's what we want, and that's what we look for every time we step up to this microphone here and this camera. You know, we just want to say if there's somebody out there that is in need of somebody to talk to, there's a number that you can call, and you, even while we're here and we're doing the show, call in. Let's talk about it. If there's something that we say that you agree with or disagree with, call in and we can talk about it. That number to call in is 941 201-5226. It didn't affect your shirt this time.
No.
Oh, doggone. I was looking
Ready for
forward to
the.
that. Yeah, that's the number, guys. 941-201-5226. 941-201-5226. Call that number, man. That's our hotline. That is the recovery room hotline. And that doesn't matter what time it is. If you're going through something, just pick it up. Pick it up. Write it down right now so you have it, or plug it into your cell phone like we always do. Plug it in. Plug it in.
Mike, I was really excited last night. I talked to some people I know in England, that have been watching the show. I talked to some friends in the Philippines, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, when we used to do it over at the radio station, the program that we had, obviously, because we were doing it streaming radio and live radio. The program that we had would show us all the countries that were listening, and it was pretty impressive. One of the ones that I thought was really cool was this little town called Oman.
Country, man. It's
I mean, a country called Oman.
Yeah.
I call it a little town. Well, it's as big as a little town.
in America.
In America. Oh man. But I mean, people listening down in the Bahamas, obviously they're in North Carolina, New York, California, Michigan, Ohio, Florida, obviously. So yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of this thing. And once again, thank you, Facebook, for, and that's the thing about a thought, right? Somebody sat around and thought, I want to create this thing called Facebook. Billionaire now.
Bazillionaire now.
But it started with a thought, and so your recovery starts with just a thought, guys. Just think about it. Think about what it'll look like, man. Think about what your life will look like, 6 months from now, and visualize it. Do it every day.
Like, if somebody were to tell you in December last year, oh, well, the whole world's going to change and this and that, you'd be like, man, you're freaking high.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? The whole world has freaking changed.
Yeah.
Imagine how you'd see this world now, looking through clean and sober eyes.
Right.
You'd be like, wow.
And imagine getting clean and sober during this period. And coming out of it on the other side in this brave new world that we're going to have, that's going to be in need of new inventions, of new products, new ways of doing things. And you could be that person that comes up with that way that has with something that affects everybody. The most valuable property on the planet is the graveyard. And the reason is that the majority of us go to the grave with our treasures still buried real deep inside of us, our gold, our dreams, our passions still buried deep inside of us. And then they put that in a box, and then they took that box and they throw it in the ground and 6 feet and cover it up with dirt and then put a rock on top of it. And on that rock is this thing called the dash, which is the date between the day you were born and the day that you died. And we want to know what your dash looks like. What does your dash look like? What will people say about you at your memorial?
I think my dash should be like a heartbeat thing going up and down.
Yeah. Well, mine is going to be like this.
Crooked. Or slanted.
It's going to have a little slant on it. But the interesting thing about that question mark? If you straighten it out, it's an exclamation point. Don says, right? But it is, and so that's what it is. If you got a question, straighten that thing out and say, yes, I'm free. If you got a question about whether you can do it or not, just say, straighten it out and say, yes, exclamation point, I can do it.
See, the way I think, the flip side is, you take an exclamation point, you can beat it with a freaking hammer and turn it into a damn question mark.
Yeah, you do. You can.
Do we need to beat you down and you should question to stop?
Yeah. We can take a torch to that butt.
Ooh. Branded.
Got any questions?
Not at all.
Hey guys, man, I'm praying and I'm hoping and I somehow got this thing came on today, and then there was this guy screaming at me, telling me to pray more. I was saying, I thought I prayed enough, but then I thought about it, so I could pray some more. And so I'm gonna leave here and I'm gonna do some praying. I'm gonna encourage you guys, do some prayers. Go to that secret place. That secret place is that place that you spend some time with your God, and that's what's important. It's your God, who God is to you. Okay, I'm hoping that you also serve the God of love, the God of people who love other people. See, because it's not your aptitude, it's not how smart you are that determines your altitude, your station and place in life. It is your attitude. And I encourage you to have an attitude of gratitude, of kindness, of strength, of love, of compassion, of passion, empathy, any of those things that you can think on that are of good report, okay? And share that with other people. What you got, Minister Sean?
For those of you out there driving that haven't really driven in a while,
Ooh.
I was almost hit like several times on my freaking truck.
Yeah, man.
Watch out for motorcyclists.
Yes.
Because you're damn sure not
Especially me.
watching out for a big effing truck.
Yeah.
Behind the wheel, driving my car.
I have seen accidents like on a daily basis, and I look around. Of course, you have to be there to see what happened. But you look around and you say, how in the world did you guys run into each other?
Right.
I mean, there's only 2 cars on the street. Y'all just had to collide? It's crazy. So yes, be careful out there, guys, still, because people have been home and they've been home imbibing. You know, and a lot of times when you imbibe, a lot of people like to just go run and jump in the car. They feel like they drive better.
And they're like, oh, I mean, like having that wind therapy for riding a motorcycle, it's some of the best therapy you guys can ever have. So look out for those riders out there.
Peace.
Peace out. We love you guys.
He knew I would come searching anyway. So I said